Hi crafters, Katie Sincaric here with Katie Bug Crafts, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this gatefold card featuring the Lemon Zest stamp set. I'm excited to show you today how to use the Brusho crystal colors in conjunction with the Pattern Party decorative masks to create this really cool background texture, and also different ways we can cut up and arrange that lemon so that we can really squeeze it for all it's worth. Let's get started.
All right, so to make this card, the first thing we're going to do is start with a card base of the thick Whisper White cardstock. It's cut to 5.5 by 8.5, but then I also scored it at 1.5 and 5 3/4, so that when I burnish it with my bone folder, it gives us that nice little gatefold that we're gonna have, and it's gonna open like that. So now that that's ready, we're gonna put that to the side, and we're gonna make that super pretty background element with the Brusho crystal colors in moss green. So I've got a piece of watercolor paper cut to 2 5/8 by 5 3/8, and I've got that Pattern Party decorative mask. And I chose the one with the diamonds. I think it's really, really cute. There's some other really cute ones in that pack too. It comes with 4, which is really awesome. And I'm gonna just lay it right over the top of my watercolor paper. And actually, I'm even gonna bring in a backup scrap paper to go on top of. And so I can set that to the side in a second. So I'm going to take my moss green Brusho, and I am just going to give it a little tappy. I'll zoom in a little. All over. And I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. So I can see those little crystals going all over my paper and my background, so that when I give it a little spritz with water, all those crystals are going to come to life. And I like this a lot. It reminds me of some ceramic glazing techniques I've done, and that's why this Brusho really appealed to me. And so I'm going to take my little spritzer of water and give that just a little, make sure you know which way you're spritzing first, because that always helps. And that color just comes to life. And I'm going to lift this up. And you can see how pretty that background is, where all those little crystals erupted. And I do have a paper towel on hand, something you might want to keep nearby, because inevitably you'll need it. So I am going to set this aside to dry some more while we do our stamping. Okay, so let's do some stamping. I've got my Pineapple Punch ink, which is gorgeous because it's super, super bright, and it's perfect for this lemon zest stamp set. And I'm going to just get a piece of scrap Whisper White. I've got my lemon here. I'm going to do a couple of him. Oh my gosh, that color's so pretty. And then I'm also going to do several of these lemon slices in that same Pineapple Punch ink. And what I love about this lemon slice one is that if you're like me and you save every tiny bit of scrap paper ever, and you're like, oh no, it doesn't fit, guess what? If you go ahead and ink it, you can line it up this way, get that little half a slice, give it a little kiss with another block, and you've got a half a slice that you can use, and you've also helped use those little last bits of ink that you've got. I'm going to make myself one more of these for good measure, and then I'm also going to stamp those guys across the inside of my card. So I've got my card base, and I'm going to open it up to how it's going to look on the inside. And so like here's where the fold is, and so I'm going to stamp that lemon just all the way across the middle there. Oh, and just kind of stagger them, overlap, it's nice. Good deal. All right, and then for my sentiment, I'm going to be using Tranquil Tide on a 2-inch circle. So I'm going to go ahead and slide my paper in. I've got my punch over here so it fits, and make sure it's all lined up right. I save every scrap. Boom, and I got my circle. So I've got the If Life Gives You Lemons on this side. Ooh, I just re-inked this Tranquil Tide. I'm going to take this off for a minute. And clean this guy. squeeze it for all it's worth. And we're going to go with the Tranquil Tide. And since we're placing the outside sentiment right here, I'm going to go ahead and place the inside one on the opposite side. Boom. All right, so let's get to cutting and assembling. So with this lemon, I love the lemon builder punch, but you do just have to watch out because there are two sides to this lemon. So you want to make sure that he's got like a wider knobbly side and a skinnier knobbly side. And so when you go to line it up in the punch, just make sure you're lining it up with the right, the right knobbly side. And actually do this little trim so I can get it in. And again, just line it right up inside your punch. And there's one. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out these slices too. And I'm just going to fussy cut these. They're just circles. And one thing that's cool about circles is that your wrist automatically moves on an arc. And so I always try to keep that in mind whenever I'm cutting or drawing circles, that I just have to keep turning in the natural flow of how my wrist wants to move. And it makes it a lot easier to think about drawing or cutting on a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but my hand's already moving that way anyway. And I'm going to punch out this other guy, and I'm going to show you a little trick with him. Get these other two cut up. So when you're using these, they already give you a stamp with the lemon straight on from the side, and this cross section of a lemon, like a lemon slice. But what you can do with a lemon slice and a full lemon is make it look like it's at a 3/4 view just by overlapping. So that's one of the things that we're going to do, is just by placing that like so, it looks like it's at that 3/4 angle, which is a little different and fun. So we're going to cut out this last lemon slice. And then we are going to be ready to put this card together. In addition to the watercolor paper that we made, we also have a piece of designer series paper that's cut to 1 3/8 by 5 3/8 for that bottom flap. And I picked the paper from the Sea of Textures suite because it's got that Tranquil Tide in it that I like and goes really good with the yellow and that moss green. So let's go ahead and put this thing together. We've got our base. Because oh my gosh, look at how pretty. So pretty. Because this is thicker watercolor paper, I'm going to be using some tear and tape for it. And one thing to remember about tear and tape is that the harder you push it down in the first place, the easier it is to get off when you need to. So remember to always make sure you push that really hard down on there. Some people even use their bone folder to really, really get it in there so that peeling comes off really easily. Now I said that, and watch me still. We'll see how it goes when I go to peel it off. I even brought my Stamp and Pierce tool out just in case. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this backing off of here. All right. Okay, not bad. I'm gonna push this down a little bit more. Pew, pew. Sound effects always help. At least I think so. Get that right down in its place. And then for the designer series paper, you can just use some snail. All right, we are ready to build our little cluster of lemons. Now, like I said, for the one, I'm gonna place that slice about 2/3 of the way onto that lemon. So I'm gonna just make sure I put my snail on the side that's sticking because not the entire thing is not on top of the lemon, to make it, give it that kind of 3/4 inch, or 3/4 view of them. And this is kind of an organic way to do this. The only thing you want to make sure that you do is, one, cover your flap, but when you go to adhere it, you only want to adhere on the top part. And I kind of just assembled this cluster kind of organically. I am going to go ahead and cut this guy in half. Or in this, that's another reason this stamp set is so great, is like I can divide this lemon any way I want and make any kind of cluster I want. Ooh, and last thing I'm going to do is this 2-inch circle sentiment goes onto a 2 1/4 inch champagne foil, which is such a pretty color. One of the newer metallics that came out in the last holiday catalog. And let's see, I am going to go ahead and get some dimensionals for him. Oh my goodness, I left my dimensionals in the other room. I will come back for them later. So I'm going to put this together. So like I said, you kind of just play, and I really am going to need those dimensionals. So I'm going to take a time out. I'm going to go grab them, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back through the magic of television, and I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of here. And you can see I had stamped some stuff earlier and I wasn't really thrilled with it. And that's the beauty of paper, is that you've got two sides. So if something doesn't work the way you want, then you know what, you can try again. So I'm going to put these toward the, actually just the one, I'm going to put toward the top there. I'm going to save this guy for him, because remember, you don't want to seal your flap shut. So I'm just going to stick that down like so. I'm going to throw some snail on the back of him. And again, just toward the side that I know isn't going to, I'm just going to slide that under so they can be friends. Stick this guy up here. So nice. And pop this guy. Oh my goodness gracious. In here, and I'm going to make him overlap like there. And then this, I'm going to throw another dimensional on him. Goes like there. And then just to add a little interest down here at the bottom too, I'm going to go ahead and attach him. Again, being sure that I only put snail where it's going to be sticking, but just to continue with that pattern. So now I'm going to flip this and just cut along there. And there you have it, your finished little lemon zest gatefold card. If life gives you lemons, squeeze it for all it's worth. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And have a great day.